A snow-capped titan in Northern California. A place of wonder, a place of myth, a place of disappearance. In 1999, a man named Carl Landers set out to climb this mountain, a mountain he knew well. He was experienced, prepared, calm. He never came back, and what followed was a search that revealed nothing. No body, no gear, not a single trace. This is his story. This is the mystery of Mount Shasta, and what might be waiting above the tree line. Carl Landers was 69 years old, but don't mistake that for weakness. He was fit, driven, dedicated, a resident of Orinda, California. He spent much of his time outdoors. Climbing wasn't a challenge to him. It was a calling, a way to quiet the noise of life. Carl was preparing for his third ascent of Mount Shasta, a volcano known not only for its height, but for the mystery that surrounded it. He trained for weeks, pushed his endurance, tested his gear, mapped the route. On May 22nd, 1999, he left for the mountain with two friends, Milt Gaines and Bill Irwin. They arrived at Horse Camp, elevation 8,000 feet. It was there they'd spend the night before the summit attempt. That night, Carl said he wasn't feeling perfect. He had a bit of a cold, a little fatigue, but nothing he hadn't dealt with before. He told the others, "I'll get a head start tomorrow. You'll catch up." The plan was to meet at 50-50 Flat, a rest point before the final summit push. Carl left first, alone, and that's when it began. Milt and Bill followed less than an hour later. The sky was clear, the trail visible, the snow firm underfoot. As they climbed, they expected to see Carl up ahead, but when they reached 50-50 Flat, he wasn't there. They searched nearby, called his name. Nothing. They assumed he had pushed ahead, but no matter how far they hiked, they never found him. Eventually, they returned to camp. No sign of him there either. By 3 p.m., they contacted rangers. Search and rescue teams mobilized quickly. Helicopters, infrared scanners, dog teams, dozens of trained professionals combed the mountain. For 6 days, they searched. They found no footprints, no clothing, no backpack, no broken branches, no blood, not even a single piece of trash. Carl Landers had vanished, and no one could explain how. How does a man disappear on an open trail? The path Carl took was visible from the air, and he was wearing bright orange clothing. Search teams agree. If he was there, they would have seen him. So where did he go? Some believe he may have fallen into a hidden lava tube, but that terrain isn't known for those features. Others point to wildlife, but there was no sign of a struggle, no tracks, no torn clothing. Some say Carl became disoriented, wandered off the trail, but even then, why did he leave no trace? Then there are those who think something stranger happened, that Carl encountered something, not from our world. A doorway, a shift in time, a dimensional rift. Unbelievable? Maybe. But so is vanishing without a single footprint. Mount Shasta isn't just a mountain, it's a magnet for myths, for stories, for the unexplained. Long before settlers arrived, native tribes spoke of spirits that lived in the mountain. Some said it was a holy place, others warned not to get too close. In the early 20th century, a new legend emerged, the Lemurians, said to be survivors of a lost continent. They were described as tall, glowing beings, living in vast underground cities beneath Mount Shasta. Over the years, hikers have reported strange encounters, voices in the wind, flashing lights, time acting strangely. Electronics fail, compasses spin, some hikers disappear and return. disoriented, confused, claiming they were gone only minutes, when it had been hours. Mount Shasta is considered one of the most paranormal hotspots in the US, and Carl's case only deepens that reputation. Carl's disappearance is not alone. Others have vanished on Mount Shasta under strange conditions. Some were later found, miles from where they should have been, disoriented, injured, silent. Others were never seen again. The Missing 411 community has documented dozens of such cases. People vanish in areas with granite rock, near water, after sudden weather changes, without a trace. It's eerie, consistent, terrifying. Was Carl part of a pattern, or did the mountain choose him? 25 years have passed, and Carl Landers is still missing. No closure, no body, no answers, just a cold mountain and a trail that leads nowhere. His story is now part of Mount Shasta's haunted legacy. So if you ever find yourself on that trail, and the wind goes still, and the trees grow quiet, be careful where you step, because not everything wants to be found. Like, subscribe, and stay close to the fire, because the next story might be yours.